by all evidence, you are a male, and yet your lead character is not a male. What was that like? I have never tried writing in the voice of a female.
Yeah, it was a challenge for me. You know, I'm not a woman. And also, this isn't just like a female lead. This is a female lead in a first-person narrative. So
Right.
you're in there, in her brain with her.
Right.
And that was difficult for me. The reason I ended up with a female lead was because I went through several plot revisions and ideas for Artemis. And the first idea I had, I kind of outlined it out. Jazz, who's the main character, Jasmine Bashara, she was a very tertiary character. I just needed a kind of a funny smuggler character who's just going to be in like 2 or 3 scenes total. And so I went like, well, what's a country I haven't used yet? Saudi Arabia, and we'll make her a woman. Done. You know, it was like that. That was literally as much thought as I put into it. And she had no backstory, no nothing. She was this very minor character. Anyway, that story idea, for reasons unrelated to her, it wasn't working out. I didn't like it. I didn't like where it was going. It didn't gel.
Yeah.
So I came up with a completely different story. I reused some of the characters from the first story idea, some of them in different ways, dropped, you know, just a rework of the concept. And this time, Jazz was more prominent. She was like a secondary character. I had to delve into her backstory a little bit deeper, but not too much. And she was still definitely nowhere near being the main character, nowhere near. But that story also, that didn't work very well. And I thought, well, this character here, Jazz, she's actually pretty interesting, and she's a rogue. Maybe I could make a crime novel, which this is when I came up to, like, oh, I could make a crime novel on the moon. I could follow around this criminal instead of doing these other things. And that's where that's where I landed with Artemis. And so I found myself writing, like, this female Saudi-descended lead character, and I'm, you know, neither of those things. But by then, she was so cemented in my mind as who she was that my imagination would have rebelled if I'd tried to change her to something I was more familiar with, like make her into a guy or something like that.
Right.
So I just I did the best that I could. I ran it by as many women as I could trust with the manuscript, because of course, for Artemis, the manuscript was like a state secret. I could
Yeah.
And so I gave it to every woman that I could trust not to just turn around and put it on the Pirate Bay, right? And so it's like my editor, Julian Pavia, he's a man, but his boss is a woman. His assistant is a woman. The copy editor, I asked her to also, like, in addition to just doing copy edits, I'm like, please tell me anything that doesn't fit right or gel as like the way a woman would talk or think or act. And my mother, I gave her a copy. My girlfriend, and I took all their feedback, and I did make changes based on what they said. Yeah. So basically, I had to research women.
Women.
I mean, yeah. And so I mean, orbital dynamics are easy, but
radically.